AI is evolving fast. Are you ready? Meet AI at FlytBase, your weekly hub to learn, upskill, and stay ahead in AI world. Let's dive into today's session.
It's Aniket here. I am working as a software developer at FlytBase since around 2.5 years. So yeah, today session is it is all about how we can actually control the use the AI in order to test and implement things and basically do it in a more natural process. How we can actually control the canvas based application, like from canva based application you can just take the example of when you go to a Google map. So the map that appears onto your screen, that is not a native HTML or something. It's totally a canvas that you can see on the screen. Similarly, if some guys have worked on the Figma application, so the whole Figma desktop that you actually see, that is whole the can so the so it is whole canvas. So the problem that as you might be some of you might be aware of our actual application. So our application also has a the map section. Like, if you can, I can share the screen. uh, so our application also, like, the map covers a major section of our application where we actually shows the real data and so on and so forth. So what the problem that we were encountering set through using the tools like Puppeteer or Cypress or any other, like writing the unit test cases, these interaction can somehow be tested and can somehow was able to, like, we were able to achieve the testing that we actually had to. But to test this canvas, like if I am clicking on something, then this pop-ups comes up, then actually whether the entity has loaded on the map or not, did this has actually happened or not. This was whole manual, like it was a very tedious job. And to test this whole application, like suppose one feature rolls out to draw the polygons on the map, and there are some 100 test cases out of it. So to actually test it on the canvas, like to whether those 100 test cases are passing or not, one developer or one tester has to sit on the this whole application, and then he will go step by step, one step at a time, and do all the process, like by manually clicking on the thing and then actually performing the task. So what I came up with was, like as this whole application is under our control, so this map interaction, the code that, like, while I am clicking on this pops up. So this whole thing is in our control. The only problem that we were facing, that how we can automate it, like whether without going without manual clicking this button, how we can actually test this whole flow, and the test gets completed in a very, like, in a very non-trivial way. So that's why we like I just came up with the idea. I was just experimenting, like how the AI tools uses the MCP. So I just thought of why not, like, like expose the MCP functionality of our map itself, so that we can just like through, like, as on the, if you can see my screen. So on the right hand side you can see a lot code desktop. So it's a normal desktop which you might have been using for day-to-day activities. Now this whole this Collod desktop is integrated with the MCP, and the MCP is of our dashboard. So like, just takes let's take an example. Let's take a very simple example. so the whole thing is actually working, and we are thinking to automate this flow through our like whole testing, like the manual testing that we actually used to do. We are just thinking of like automating this whole flow, and obviously like this flow becomes much more handy, because very often than not the testing team the testing team is bit of unaware of the technicalities, that how application works, but they are generally aware of the whole application on a high level. Like if you compare it with the Figma, so a testing team might not be knowing the technicalities and etc stuff via the whole tech stack, but they might be knowing that which like where to like like on the Google map, how to navigate to a location, how to pan to a location. And for that they do not need to come to a application and then start the testing via the manual clicking. They can they can use like any of the AI tools, and they can just give the prompt in the natural language, and through this flow this thing can be tested. The major advantage of this flow key, once you automate it, and like right now I was using Claude Code, but you can use like any of the LLM model. This whole flow, like the whole architecture behind this thing, it is nothing ki we are exaggerating the whole AI stuff. It is basically a process by which you are actually like the only place where the AI actually is like we are using the advantage is of like converting the natural language in the like converting the natural language in the particular language that our application understands. So that is the whole purpose, and through this, if we can actually streamline and automate this stuff, so this whole things can be tested. And to create this whole application, like if someone is interested in the tech stack that this whole flow is working on, so the MCP is working on the JSON RPC, the standard the standard protocol that is being used for you like if I could have shown you the demo. So this is whole real time. So as soon as you just give the prompt to a AI agent, and that AI agent can be like any agent which has the fundamental functionality of calling the MCP tool. So how you interact with a Claude desktop, like on the left hand side you write some prompt, and on the right side time a canvas comes or something appears, so that can be replaced by the application, and eventually you can just have the testing things on setup. So this was the whole idea, and yeah, so this was the whole idea. And like if you ask me about the time that actually took me to come to a conclusion, that was around 6 to 7 hours, and I was actually pretty much comfortable in doing this stuff. We have many features, like if you can ask me right now, that is not implemented, but if you can see this flow. So right now this whole flow, like how we create the mission.
If you are sharing your screen, it's not visible, I guess.
Okay, I guess.
Now it's visible.
Yeah. So what I was telling, the application, the demo that I was about to show, that was very a gist of it. But I want to automate this whole flow through for this whole complex like the flow that we actually do. Like we just like have some actions. We can have some actions, and as you can see this, if you give a gimbal pitch, so if you just look at the gimbal that is being rotated on this map and through, like and this is just one of the flow. We have many complex flow on our application that actually interact with the map, and to test all the flow via a natural, like the process that we used to. That's almost like it next to impossible to actually test each and every flow. The flow can be right if I am clicking on this button, if I am clicking on this simultaneously, then this whole pops up comes or not. We can just write it at the end of the it that when the MCP tool is being called, then we can pass this whole frame ki whether this is returned or not, and so that the status code on the basis of the state on the basis of the status code we can actually verify ki whether the whole process actually ended up smoothly or somewhere it broke. So the whole idea was like to automate this whole canvas based testing using like using the natural language and not via interacting with the application in the real time, but using some tools. And yeah, so that was the whole idea, and we are thinking it to like to actually dive into this whole flow and can automate all the map interaction that are present on our application so that the testing time decreases significantly. Yeah, so that is like the whole like gist of what the problem was and what the solution I came up with. So yeah, I guess like if you have any questions, we are like open to address those. And yeah.
So yes, we do have a lot of questions. But before starting with the question, I just wanted to ask, like for now, the demo was not like the day, like today was not our day for the demo, I guess. So would it be possible for you to record a short Loom video and share it in the WhatsApp community?
Yeah, sure. Like by
Yes.
today night, I guess Aryan will reach out with the
Yes.
videos, and
Yes.
you guys can see the thing actually working, and you can just feel it ki ha, it
Yeah.
does work.
Yeah.
It was no fluff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. So don't worry, I'll share Loom videos to on your email as well on the WhatsApp community itself. So you get the value what would you here for. So now we'll start up with the questions. So first question we have from the Isha. So she is asking, how do you see AI agent replacing traditional E2E frameworks for Canvas apps?
Yeah, like this was the exactly question that like barely I have like used the tools like Puppeteer or one more application I'm like that does work to some interaction, but if like my screen is not seen, I'll just share the screen again.
Yes.
So when you use those traditional E2E tools, so what does happens ki you can I guess my screen is visible, just
Yes,
make
yes,
sure.
your screen is
Yeah.
visible.
So what is happened ki you can make sure that these DOMs like the native HTML DOM that is actually present on the screen that can be tested, but when it's come to its canvas, so the canvas does not like canvas is not something that you can control like how we can control these elements. And if you really want to test this app these things, then you need to inject JS things so that you can actually trigger those functions, and that is kind of a very repeatable flow. Like for the mission like if you take the example of this mission flow, so for the mission I need to do n number of steps, and for when I go for this annotation, then I need to do a certain number of steps. But through this flow I didn't give him the like context what the feature is. I just expose what this map actually is capable of. So I'm not calling ki create a like when I am like if you take the example, so I'm not actually in like I'm not actually invoking the function from here to the map, but actually what it is happening behind the scene, that the map is actually responding to the action that is being given from. So yeah, I do feel like yeah, the traditional E2E flow that we have been using can be not replaced but can be used by it in order to drive more value in a short number of time. So that's my approach on the E2E framework for that we have been using.
Okay. So now Rohit has asked, can you share how you achieved this workflow?
Yeah, so I guess you might be keen to know ki what is happening behind the scenes. So we have a normal we have a normal MCP server. These MCP servers, like if you can like this whole canvas does expose its whole what you call screen. Like if you like, I guess we have might be having some logs if I have not removed it. Just check me once. Just let me check me once. No, I guess just removed it. So actually it exposes like when we call the MCP tools, it like just start with the high level. So when I give a prompt to an agent, so actually it translate it, and eventually it decide which tool is to be called off, and the tool actually sends a socket commands with a payload, and that actually has key. When you go through this application, this application receives those socket commands, and on basis of this socket commands, this screen that is actually exposed takes the action according to the commands that has been sent. So if someone sends key, I want to draw a polygon, so the polygon function is exported. So when it's come from a socket from a socket payload, so that function just get triggered, and whatever the exposing part, you can understand it, how we are able to create, how this span is actually working. So this function are actually exposed, and according to the commands that we get from the socket via the LLM thing, and that function is actually being triggered, and the canvas actually respond to whatever the function is being called. So that is the whole like the flow of how the things are working.
Okay. I hope your question has been answered. Now Rahul is asking, how do you test interaction that depends on user gestures, velocity, or inertia in panning?
Yeah, that's a quite interesting question. I guess you are trying to ask if something breaks while I just move this canvas on a very high speed, and if I just move this canvas on a relatively low speed. Yeah, that's an interesting problem to solve. I've not actually experimented with it. My whole focus when I was developing this was to remove those manual interaction on the map and actually achieving it. So yes, I have not like honestly I've not covered the gesture velocity and the inertia thing, but yeah, that's quite an interesting problem to actually handle with. I will surely yeah, I will try to accommodate in our whatever roadmap I've thought of this whole flow. So really thanks for this question, Rahul.
Yes, thanks Rahul. Now Shruti has asked, does the MCP bridge exposes a domain-specific special command layer to agent, or is it directly translating natural language into low-level Cesium API calls? How do you enforce safe and valid action boundaries?
Yeah, so basically we are not exposing native Cesium API calls. Whatever we have implemented, like the Cesium has n number of APIs calls that we can call in order to have it. But our application वो uses some limited number of interaction and capability on the map. So yes, we are not using the native Cesium API. We are kind of using the functionality and the APIs that we have actually implemented. Actually, like few weeks itself before, like I guess last week itself, the Cesium itself came up with its own MCP. So I was interested in looking in that as well, but that is really like via Cesium itself. Like it is not a generalistic thing. The canvas approach, it is totally for the Cesium application. The whole flow that I actually was trying to solve, it is not a kind of map thing. Again, I guess lost the connection.
Yeah.
So sorry, I guess the things are not working that way, but yeah, still I will try my best. So yeah, so my whole approach is not to like actually be Cesium specific or map specific. My whole idea was like any application that uses canvas, and you have actually implemented the whole flow, and you have developed an application on top of a canvas based application, so you can actually use this flow in order to test the application, and in order to automate the stuff that usually takes like a kind of a native approach to like to pan the a canvas somewhere to create an entity on a canvas. So that's the whole my idea behind it.
So I guess we have a last question from the Rohan. So he has asked, do you see this evolving beyond testing into generalized spatial reasoning layer where AI agents can autonomously operate GIS systems?
Yeah, so while I was in between like actually like solving my own problem, so while I was like honestly speaking, I was like, when I started this project, I was not sure whether this is actually possible or not, like how the thing will take shapes. But yes, the interaction, I guess I guess you are trying to ask, suppose like on a map we are able to see a building, and you might be interested ki when I see this building, or like see this type of entity on the canvas or on a map, you want to take certain actions. So yes, I guess the rate at which the functionality and the capability of the AI agents are increasing. So yeah, very soon we can have it, and I guess if someone is really interested in achieving, so I don't think that we need would we need to wait for the LLM to grow and all, because what my really like my experience was honestly like this whole flow, it is not the only place, like I'm repeating this stuff, the only place where this LLM and this AI thing is coming into place is just converting your natural level of thing into a machine level of thing. So that is the only place where the AI comes into place, and all the other flow are just waiting for whether you can set a process key, if something this happens, then needs to be this happen, and accordingly, because at the end of the day, like it's all 0 and 1 on the screen that you see. So if you know the whole nitty gritty and nuances of how the things are working, whether it is a canvas based application or whether it is a normal React app or a Angular app or a Android app, so as long as you are knowing the nitty gritty, the things, yes, you can automate the flow, and yes, the things can be achieved on a very short number of time that used to take a longer number of time.